And then coming back to us, I think those who still remained in the league had vital opportunities of qualifying, but you also believe that, yeah, this time it was a very competitive league. You could not really describe who is going through until the last day. I think the first person we saw qualifying was Police because of the numbers of points that they had accumulated. But up to the last day, you could not believe who was going to go through and who was going to stay back. Unfortunately, among the clubs that stayed back is Black Spar Football Club. Like you say, we compelled ourselves to a very serious start with a very good, I would say, squad, with very good targets, with very good preparations for the team to play and qualify in the league. Unfortunately, it's not mouth ball, it is always football. You have to play it, and you have to make sure that how you play must beat your opponents. But then, unfortunately, we could not meet that due to as many factors as possible. But of course, you who did not have it at their mother clubs or the primary clubs. But however, along the way, it actually turned into having the best players from the other club for the same club here.
Okay, so the only difference would be, okay, like the double licensing policy is all about giving more playing opportunity to players at the age of 18 to 21. 18 to 21.
Yes.
So whether the player was the best at at club A or at his mother club,
exactly,
as long as the player is still within that age bracket.
That was now the recommended age bracket.
Did it go beyond? The motive
is what I am specifying. Giving ample time for players who do not have it at club A to have it in club B. But however, when things went on, actually it so meant that the best player in club A turned to be the best player in club B. So, having seen that, the competition was now put at a level where if you do not have the best players, then you'll be hacked to death. But thank God that even we made it that far and even reached an age where with even our own players, we were beating players that had better players in the Premier League. So that one also signifies the fact that going forward, let me think the standard of double licensing should carry the motive. Let us not only do it for the event of players making money, because a double licensed player would even reach and ask you, how much are you giving me? Why? Is because he's the best player already.
Meaning the motive changes, not from getting more playing time, but to making money, actually making more money.
I really don't come against that, but I think if rules are set, let rules be clear.
Sure.
Before you commit a double licensed player to play, find out from the mother club or from the primary club, how consistent has he been? Has he been on pitch or he hasn't been on pitch? So the federation, while it brings out these regulations that govern sports or that help players to get ample time, should keep learning and teaching us how viable is it for such a player to play in URA today and also play with Black Spar tomorrow.
Yeah.
It doesn't serve the purpose. Then secondly, I will come to my side as Black Spar. There are some games that I would want to blend and brand as games that were very unfortunate for us. And among them is a game we played against Chiinda in first round. Very unfortunate in the manner,
boys.
Yes, in the manner of not only officiation, but also in the manner in which the home team receives advantage. Okay,
advantage from the referees,
whatever the case. But let us know that
what kind of advantage? Because all we know, and like a home team, the only advantage they have might be like the crowd. They are 12 man. What other special advantage?
The advantages are here. We always know that yes, there is what we call a home advantage for a home team. But let us teach ourselves how do we utilize
The home advantage.
The home advantage. With respect for even the visiting
team.
Yes. It doesn't take a lot from us if you only respected us on the pitch for 90 minutes. Okay? Let that competition be a very competitive competition with a lot of integrity. That is what I mean. But there are games you would really go to and you really see the officiation, the reception, the fans, how they talk, and you really feel, I think where I've come is not football.
It's not football.
It is another part of the game. So that was also another factor.
If I'm to ask, like those games where the environment, like you made mention, wasn't welcoming, were they live on TV, or those are games which were not scheduled for a TV?
Unfortunately, some games were live.
Like which one?
Do you remember the case scenario of Kataka game?
Kataka, yes.
Where a referee had to...
First game in Ugandan football.
Where a referee had to go and...
A referee had to use a VAR, a video assistant referee.
So those are the little examples that I would give. Those are live games. Tinder game was live. Kataka game was live. Very live. I think typically people sometimes run out of self-integrity and do things that are even more dubious.
If you talk of people, do you mean the referees,
I
the
would
players?
I would mean players, I would mean officials, I would mean anything.
Fans.
For as long as you're a stakeholder in football. But now, at what point of football am I talking about? When I talk about a game, I'm talking about stakeholders in a 90 minutes match game. So it means the officials included, players included, the technical team included, and the fans.
Sabah, do you want to say such events that happened during the course of your games affected your performance that led to you failing to get back to UPL?
I think I'll tell you, I'm bringing out key and basics, okay? I would also have my own weaknesses, which I can understand as a club. Maybe one day I reached at an away game quite late than expected. For example, when we traveled to Kigezi, we were very sure we were supposed to be there maybe 2 days earlier,
before.
Because we had just played a game away, 2 games away, and then we went to Kigezi. But in our preparation, because of, finances and so on, we had to go and stayed only a day to the game. But with the distance we traveled from here to Kampala, 8 hours. From Kampala to Kabale was another 12 hours.
So 20 hours of travel.
20 hours of the journey. You may realize that, maybe we needed more rest. And then we just said, no, we can make it. So in the 90 minutes, you'd really see the fatigue of the team. We played first half like we were dead bodies. We only started picking up from minute 75. And the boys now can see that they have started responding, So those are some of the cases. Other cases would have been maybe technical. We'd say that this was the wrong calculation for this kind of game. The approach wasn't supposed to be like that. We were supposed to approach this game either offensive or defensive. Like every coach has his own style. Our coach Obira doesn't believe in failure. I like him for one fact. He's a winner. He's born with that spirit of always winning. He doesn't want to lose. But look, there are games where you say, this one, I'm not putting my head first. Let me only first point my finger and see if they are going to bite
you put one leg.
Exactly. But Mayo Bira, who is very competent of winning, would say, I'm going all out. So he'd go and attack a team which is more offensive. At the end, that is how we suffered under Kigezi boys. We went offensive, wanting to pick maximum points. But forgetting that they were more offensive than you. if we had taken our time maybe to read the game and then say we can go in second half and score our goal and come back, which we did.
Yeah, thank you very much, Saba, for letting us know all that unfolded in the 2023-2024 season. And now we are we all aware that so many rumors are circulating on social media in regards to your home ground, but we first leave that aside. We start with the most pressing things. When during the course of the day, I was attending that is a corporate gala. One of the fans, a staunch fan of Black's Power, approached me and I was like, man, how about Jazz's fans? That is Jazz's for fans of Black's Power. Is there anything adding up? The club has been here now 3 years. But we have never seen one. I don't know whether you have any answer to that fan, because I believe he's following us right now.
Abel, I think each time I look at a fan putting his die-hard love for us and is only wishing to be represented by a jersey, I feel the pain, I feel the pinch. I really feel that these are fans who adore us and they really love us. They love football, they love Ugandan sports. And going by that, I would only say that for the last 3 years, I think this team has been trying to settle on the floor of Lira City. Now that somehow I feel we are contented that we have settled, I believe it is time that the club has chosen to look at everything.
Or you were still being embraced by the community, and now you feel, yeah, we are home.
That is exactly how I mean. That when you're given where to sit, it means you're home. So basically, I would think that we are looking at 360 degrees of Black's Power this season. 360 simply means looking at every other parameter or criteria that governs sports. Looking at the governance and legal aspect, looking at facility and infrastructure, looking at the sport where you have your players, you have the technical, looking at, and then also looking at the business part, which is now technically the branding.
The branding of
the club. And that is where exactly your question drops. So to that fan, that good fan, who is not only one, I think it's just a voice of many fans who are quiet. I would so much want to interest myself and give you the honesty of building more confidence that this season might not be far away from the best. Because we're not looking at those angles. We're totally only looking at the game, playing football, having good players, but forgetting that always the number 12 player is the fan. And the fan's passion is coming in this jersey, taking a win and going back to celebrate so that he can come back another day or come along with another colleague. So I think in that regard, I so much believe that Black's Power is not only going to plan on having jerseys for fans, but it is going to have them. Even at the least quantity, trust me, jerseys will be there for as long as it is the plan that we have put, we are going to execute. With the little funding we have, I think the funds will bear with us that it will be maybe the first of its kind to see people fighting over jerseys. Because there might not be very many, but at least we promise that this time we are going to deliver.
Okay.
Because we really have a lot of anxiety on branding and imaging of the club. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Saba. Another thing that has been making rounds, we have seen being written on news about some of their key players being approached by other clubs, and yet these are players that we see as being so instrumental in their team. For example, so many news has been linking that is Madoka Innocent to various clubs in the UPL, and of late that was the new entrance, that is Paida Black Angels. so many clubs seems to be interested in him. And we remember last season, Blacks Power had so many good players. For example, Otim, your left back, who scored so many goals, set pieces. And then Chamera Tony, who won that best goalkeeper of the tournament, Fofa Drum. These are players I believe so many clubs would be interested in getting their signature. Fans are now not sure, they're unsure of the future of their players. Are these players still having a running contract with Blacks Power, or they're out of contract?
Fast forward, we are in what we call the primary window. The primary window is the longest window for transfer of players. And at this point of time, like you've said, most players are looking for better options elsewhere, or greener pastures, and others are really wishing to continue. Now, in the incidents where we have players who are out of contract, which usually we have, like I would say yes, our key players, some of them went out of contract, their contracts expired. But there are still also those who have running contracts. Like, you would say 9 of them have running contracts with us.
Just 9?
9, yes.
You had how many players?
Around 25.
25?
Yes.
So out of the 25, only 9 are having a running
yes,
contract.
Exactly. But you see, if you look at Big League to most clubs is not supposed to be a consistent league for a club. It is a promotional league. So, in one of our guiding tools in player transfer, we look at signing a player for one season because of the target. The target is we want to qualify. We can see other things much more in the other season when maybe we make it. If we do not make it, automatically
you get back to the drawing board.
You see, if you don't make it, if your first woman has not given birth, another year comes, another year comes, another year comes. Trust me,
you'll consider adding another.
It is faith. It is good faith to have that woman in the home. But at the end of the day, the years you will take waiting are better than you finding a solution, so that age doesn't also catch up with you. So sometimes we feel that it is much safer if we have failed with these players in this season. We look at better options to make sure that we add on to the few that have performed. So it simply means that this season...
Are you indirectly saying next season we are going to see so many new faces replacing the old ones who didn't meet the expectations?
You may definitely say yes for yourself even. Because even from the count of hands, you know who were the basic players for Blacks Power.
Last season.
You know them. And those are the players that you've mentioned, like Maduka, like Siwu, like Otim, like Chamera, like... Mention them, Okelo
Okelo Ivan.
Those are the basic players of Blacks Power, whom I know all the clubs out there are also eyeing.
And you're true.
But we are not saying that they are ours. We do not have the right over them for as long as they do not have their running contracts with us. But 2, players at this moment have the personal decision to make, okay?
Over their future.
Over their future. If I went to Club A, where is my career going to be in the next 2, 3, 5 seasons? Years? If I remained at Blacks Power still...
Where will I see myself?
Where will I see myself, okay? Because we all have different targets, okay? So 2 is most of the players we have here are
home-based players.
You see, the funny bit why it is very hard to sign a player from Arua and bring him here is because most of the players in Onduparaka are home-based. Someone will tell you, how will I leave my family? How will I even leave my people? How do even people see me go there and then I come back and play against you? Those are rhetoric questions, but they really happen. They mean a lot in a player's conscience and on decision making of where do I go.
Where do I go?
Then, you know, these players are surrounded by people. They are relatives, they are friends. even Abel, if you chose to go and work for another radio, the first thing QFM would ask you is, going to Kampala, really? I wish you just went to a nearby radio station. Would still feel safe, because at one point you will be also necessarily of use to us.
True.
Okay? So those players there have a decision to make, either for the team or for their fans. A decision to make either for themselves or for the team they want to go to. Okay? So
we look at your new home ground that has made a lot of noise on social media, though it's also, there's another version that is already trending also in regards to your new home ground. We're going to get back in a few.
this one in my badge. And the rhino I'm talking. You ready? The rhino is such an humble animal, but when provoked, it is tough. The rhino is an animal that when you set fire on its way, it steps on it. The rhino I'm talking about, it's this one in my badge. And the rhino I'm talking about, it is the one on their badge. Never provoke a rhino.
Yeah, welcome back from that short commercial break. Still here on 94.3 QFM with the CEO of Blacks Power Football Club, Mr. Edison Sabasaba. He was giving us a brief of how the team performed last season, how his best players who perform better last season are being eyed by so many top clubs in the country. That is what he had to tell us. The viewers on 94.3 QFM. Edison Sabasaba, moving forward as we try to wind up, time is going. About recruitment. For example, last season, fans were so much bitter with how the team, the management of Blacks Power were handling their transfer issues. No news, no rumors, no nothing anywhere concerning Blacks Power, and yet these are the things that keep hope in the fans. I don't know about this season whether you already have a list of players maybe that you're looking at bringing to add on the 9 contracted players who are still at the club, and maybe a few that you look at renewing their expired contracts. Personally, I've got rumors linking that is John Paul Achire, who recently terminated his contract with the NEC back to Blacks Power, where a place that is more of home to actually he's a utility player, because he cannot just play as a left back, he can also play from center back. You can even field him in the middle of the pitch. So having such a player, such a utility player in the club, it would boost your squad depth a lot. What do you have to say about Achire John Paul getting back to Blacks Power? Is there anything? Is there any talk between the two parties, or those are just corridor rumors?
Yes, as I told you, this season it is a 360-degree observation of the club. And like I said, our past experiences will always teach us what we didn't do right is what we need to correct this time. You see, recruitment is a fundamental of building the success of the club. And recruitment is not only players. And I believe that our fans are much more interested in the players because that is what brings them joy. But as Blacks Power, we want to look at recruitment as in many basic positions or areas at the club, not only players. So the first thing I expect fans to ask is, who is coming to be with Coach Bob?
Are you trying to confirm that Bob Obiri is still the head coach of Blacks Power? Because now it's like you're just looking at his backroom stuff.
when I said who is coming to be with Coach Bob, it simply means he's already among the coaches that we are sure still wants to continue with us.
Okay? In the coming season.
Regardless of any events, regardless of conditions and terms. We are very sure that Coach Obira would really want to work with Blacks Power, and he's someone we have approached. He's already in the center of identifying players. It means he's a going concern, he's already at work, and he's doing his job. Then I would so believe that the first thing we wanted to put on table before...
maybe, sorry for interjecting, you talked of Obira. Are you trying to say Coach Ongodia has parted ways with Blacks Power?
That one is not yet official. I cannot dwell on that so much because we still have to go and do a lot of scrutiny. The truth is, Coach Ongodia has been a little bit a committed person somewhere, serving as another employer at some other organization. But of course, it will depend on how we digest, okay, whether he can balance between work and Blacks Power. So sometimes where we are going is more hectic, that it needs someone to serve maybe around 70% of their daily time. So we are yet to look at that because we are still considering. He has our running contract. But however, if we may not reach a consensus of acknowledging his time with us, then we may define opinion at some other time. But for now, we are typically looking at coaches who do not have running contracts with us, and Obira's contract is one of those who expires.
When you talk of technical team, last time we saw at the beginning of the season, actually not at the beginning, but along the way in the first round, you had that is Ali Chimera, who also as a Lamu Province goalkeeping coach. But along the way, in second half, that things became tough for Team Blacks Power. We saw goalkeepers training themselves.
Exactly. Those are the things, some of the challenges I told you, that this time we are very keen on looking at Blacks Power at all angles. Okay, before you even bring a player, do you have someone who is going to conduct them training? If no, why don't we first start with the technical team before we look at who to bring? Because we already have our 9 players who have running contracts, where until you are in these other few, to make it maybe around 18-man squad from the old players. And then we see, if you already have 18 players, who are those that we want to add on? That one will now also come in guidance of the technical team. We don't want to do the technical team job as management. We cannot do the technical job. It is the coaches. Otherwise, at the end, they will defraud us and tell us it was
it was your squad.
And this is exactly what has been happening, maybe from the few recent years. They will tell you that you're the one who brought the players. CEO, you're the one who signed the players. It wasn't me. So if he's delivering or he's not delivering, you will not question the coach. Much as you brought him to add ability to the player and improve them, they will still say this one is a player who cannot improve. So at the end of the day, we have given the first count to the coaches. So let us bring those coaches that we know are going to drive and thrive this club to a better spot. And then they will help us say, because for us we have names. The issue of identification, we can all identify players. Even fans can identify a player. Anyone can identify a player.
But now the question is
a coach who will say that, true, this is the player I wanted in this position.
Or this one suits my philosophy, my style of play.
Exactly. So we don't want to go into another blunder of a coach pointing the finger at a CEO or at a club chairperson or at another manager. Let them have their 5 fingers pointing at them at the end of the season.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Letting fans know how.
But to answer your question, because the fans want to still hear something.
Wants to hear?
Achire
John Paul.
At a personal level, he's a friend of Blacks Power.
A friend.
He's a family member. And sometimes when we sent him out there, he has realized what he has realized. He has chosen to come back home. There is no parent as good as Black Sparrow who would not want to embrace Achille. And there was no any other person who would really welcome the boy back apart from Black Sparrow, because this is his home and this is where he went. So I would say yes, we are having internal arrangements. We have spoken to him. He has given us his side of the story. He has given us the side of need. He has given us the time frame on how we go about his business, and that is still something cooking. But know that we are not just looking at Achille as Achille. We are looking at him as a prodigal son, and he's back and he's welcome.
Thank you very much for clarifying, because there has been a lot of rumors linking the guy back to Black Sparrow.
And then I would also say that yes, as we know that out of the 25 players we had at the end of the season, like I told you, we may remain with a few, but it is obvious that we need to replace. Because before first round ends, okay, we have given ourselves a target.
Do you have a few players who have already left the club? Because I know this is possible.
No, it would be official, obviously. It would be official. I wouldn't just bring it as something to mimic about or ponder about or have questions about. If Black Sparrow releases players, I think it is a public notice. It goes public that players so and so
has been released.
But when we sat in our engagement, we're like, no. Before you release a player, have you replaced him? So we don't want to do things that will bring us back to again saying, I wish we did not release so and so. So we need to have the real timing to do our things right. Because this is the longest transfer window, which goes up to 21st September. I think any player right now knows what happens. But we have approached all of them. Those that we have approached are very sure that the club needs me. Those that we haven't approached would still say, let me wait a bit.
Let me wait.
But there are those ones that we have surely approached. We've had personal terms with them. We have agreed verbatively, then only waiting to do what?
To sign. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. That was concerning the recruitment ahead of the 2024-2025 season. Getting back to the trending story regarding your home ground for the next 2 seasons. Of late, we saw on social media Black Sparrow acquiring a new home ground, which turns to be where Boro Holy Tigers used to play, Lao Sports Ground. And then just a day after, we saw again a twist saying that the management of the facility had denied, like a section of the management said they were not aware of whatever was taking place. So there was some kind of injunction. Has it been cleared?
Well, Abel, it is very unfortunate that sometimes that is the path sports chooses to take. Under even our very own eyes, okay, as stakeholders. But you see, I do not want to sound offensive, and I do not want to be quoted as someone attacking any person or any
organization,
group of individuals or organization. I just want to speak this for the love I have for sports and for the love I have for young people in our communities. I would start as far as saying that, yes, in every society, in every community, we have what we call opinion leaders. These opinion leaders are people who influence a lot of decisions that may either liberate or sink us. Because sometimes you may over-trust them. Sometimes you may think, yeah, whatever they say is true.
It's true. Yeah. Or is right.
Is right. But then at the end of the day, these are things that keep reflecting as echoes back to us, especially when the negative turns back. Why I'm telling you that is because I want to give you that. You see, if you look at right now, even the agenda on which FUFA is traversing this country, it's what we call community sports. It's community sports. And if you take away sports from community, you're the first enemy.
Of sports.
I am telling you. Of the community.
Of the community.
Not the sports.
Not the sports, but the community.
Exactly. And in so doing, I want you to sit back and ask yourself, you are running this show with a sports person. If I wasn't there,
there would be no one.
There would be no show. So what would this hour mean to QFM? Nothing. But right now, there are many followers on QFM following this show because there is a sports personality coming. Take it now to the people we employ. Okay? Take it to the more than 35 to 40 staff we have at Black's Power. At Black's Power. Then ask yourself, okay, if they didn't have a chance to play this season, just because we do not have
a playground,
what happens to them? What happens to their families? What happens to their dependents? What really happens?
Because could be in one way or the other, the one of the club loses nothing, the club not participating.
So I'd really tell you that it is always for me the bigger picture of everything. Now, coming to the issue you asked me about the stadium. Truly speaking, I am very sure that we only paved the way for a government development project to take place at Akibwa. Okay? But most certainly, we're also very aware that that is a public facility. And it is under the custody of the local government. So, when they told us about the project, the only engagement we had was, this is a team based in Lira. It is for the people of Lira. It has a majority of people, okay, who stay from here or who come from here, who base here. Why should we have to start trembling looking for another playground to play with? We just said no. Football coexists, okay? Like any other sport, we collectively always pair ourselves, okay? That is where on a football pitch, someone can come and play softball, okay, cricket.
Last time we saw, actually it was last week, we saw Uganda hosting rugby at Nambole. That very playground is where Uganda Cranes national team did their training from.
Thank you very much. It is the same thing I always see. You see, the corporate galas here should give us more impression and better versions of what community sports is. On a day of a community gala, how many games take place here?
So
indoor, outdoor,
so
many.
Yeah.
Okay. But here we're only looking at one part of the many games that we have that we had thought our brothers would embrace. Not even if you didn't like Black's Power as Black's Power, but look at the people who benefit from Black's Power. I'm not demeaning any sport, but I would ask, okay, for example, how many times do you see a golf gala in a year? Maybe twice, thrice, 4 times. Maybe. I'm not sure. In this community, as many times.
Not only for Black's Power.
Not only for Black's Power. So that one simply means that, yes, there is much more in supporting football.
Maybe. I don't know the genesis of this injunction.
I'm getting there. I'm really getting there.
Because at first we saw a letter fully signed.
Abel, I'm getting there. Let me give you enough of this so that you can digest it before even... Because the letters are just the smallest bite of what we are looking at.
True.
Here I told you we are looking at the bigger
picture.
Because even at golf, there are footballers, which I am very sure about. At golf, there are people who come and support Black's Powers, who come and watch our games. But do you want to come and watch Black's Power play from Njeru this time?
Or in Masindi?
In Masindi? Really?
Or they take you to Peshe?
When only I am asking that I will only come here and host a game per week
Not okay. Sometimes even not per week.
Not even per week.
You'll have to go away.
To be specific, we have 14 league games to play
in a year, in a season.
In a season, from home. Okay, but now the trouble is this: that yes, when we were trying to sail through the process of acquiring a public facility, we're very considerate. One, we're considerate of who to go to, okay? And I think with the guidance of the top management of Lango Golf Association, or
Lira Golf, yeah.
Yeah,
Lira Golf Club.
Sports Association. It is Lira Golf
and Sports Association.
We had a long engagement, not once, not twice, with the people we thought really mattered so much also. Because this management, which right now came against the decision of the top management, I do not have reasons for them, and they do not have reasons for me.
For you.
Because the truth is, they are doing that as their mandate in their association. You get it? It is their mandate, it is their right. So I would not feel offended that they did it, because they may have
their reasons.
Exactly. But to black it on me as Black's power that I was wrong does not even matter. Because the letter I got is from what we call the Board of Trustees. The word trustees, I don't know what it means, whether in the most civic English or in layman's language. Trustees is something bigger. I think it even has the word trustees.
Actually, from the word board.
Board to trustees is a very bold word. It's the longest sentence in any organization. Now, if you doubt the work of your Board of Trustees, then it means it is not just a problem. It is not just a problem. It is beyond what we can see. So that is why we said, well and good. On Tuesday, after us getting the letter, we took a copy of the same letter to the Federation, and we came here because we had gotten a reason to proceed.
A green light.
To proceed. So we came, we met the people that they even told us to meet on the ground.
On the ground.
One of them was their secretary, okay, of the association. Okay. It was the captain and the assistant captain, okay, whom we met and sat with. But of course, in the background there was already what was happening within their circles. So, on Tuesday when we had started the job, I think we worked up to around 6:30. And that is where the unfortunate bit of the day broke. And that is where we were stopped by a certain gentleman. So, for the respect for humanity, the law, and even the public space we're in, God said, well, it is okay. But, you see, sometimes when you're intervening into something, it is also good to be human.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it is good. It doesn't take anything from you to be generous and say, gentlemen, you see, what you are doing here, I would really ask that you kindly stop. Maybe you don't come tomorrow. For today, it is okay, you finish. But tomorrow,
don't.
Because trust me, we did not go there to run away with any piece of land, not even a spoon of soil. We just went there to support a cause. Because we were embraced. We thought we were embraced to chase a cause. But unfortunately, things turned like that. And in our wisdom also, when we consulted with our top management, we were like, we can't go back there.
Can't go back
because we do not want to make it look like it's a battle. It's not a battle. It is just a small engagement and a misunderstanding which can be revised.
Yeah, CEO, we understand a lot of resources has been wasted there already, but now we can put that aside. Like you said, it's not a war, it's not a battle, and you cannot now go back there and continue with it, maybe, if I got you right. Now, going forward, what is the way forward ahead of the new season that is around the corner? Because the days are clocking every day.
Let me clear it this way. You see, why we
do you have plan B?
We chose to withdraw because we know there are some internal processes that can be reignited for us to have a better cause. But if indeed the ground is that we are not going to use the ground, we can bear with that because it is not.
Actually, that's where another question comes.
Yeah.
In an event that it finally fails totally, that Blacks Power cannot use a Lango Sports ground. Do you have plan B within Lira, within Lango, or you'll try to seek elsewhere?
You see, we want to play our cards right, okay? For us, the basic purpose of sports has its first benefit to the community. We don't want to run away from Lira and leave people who have been benefiting from this club wondering. Because I know on a match day, we have as many people who benefit from
all I know, right from transport, border guys, they benefit taking funds to watch the games, hotel rooms where the away team sleeps, restaurants around where the away teams eat from.
The human resource we have there.
Quite many.
You have the police.
The police, because they provide security and they're facilitated.
Thank you. We have the steward. So we get...
And even now the community will go to watch. They get entertained.
But at the end of the day, the basic to me is the bigger picture always. I know that deep down, their mind, they will sit and ask themselves one important question. Who are we hurting in this incident? Because you're not hurting any member of the club as an owner, no. Because at one point I remember when someone said, if I dissolve this club, what do you think I lose? You get it?
We have seen many.
Yes.
For example, there's Ndeje University. Even of late, Ruhil was almost.
Now, look, even with that example of Ndeje, since it was dissolved, how many players have jobs? How many have been employed in other clubs? Nowhere.
The support staff.
Thank you.
Okay, for players, maybe if you are exceptional, it would be easier for you to get another. But now, if you are average, that is
we have
one,
an upcoming player,
upcoming players,
Joshua, like Obira Rogers, like Fazil. We have those upcoming players who see destiny in sports. But here now, you're going to make him zero himself and goes back to abuse drugs. These are some of the bigger pictures. Stop looking at Blacks Power and its directors or managers or the CEO. Look at the bigger picture and say, okay, if this boy is winning bread from just kicking the ball, I think I should support him.
True.
Because I trust the very people that they have relatives who are footballers in my team. But nevertheless, I am not complaining. I'm only saying that for the love of sport. For the love that even one day I want to walk from Akibwa where I stay and go and cheer a golf team. Much as I don't know how they do it. But I want to go and say, because you'll never know whether he has scored or he has not.
Scored.
Not like ours where you can burst the net and then you see cheers and happiness. Golf is different, but I want to learn also. That is why I want to go near there.
You can learn how to play.
Exactly. I also want to be a member. I also want to be near there. And one day they say, he transformed from sports, football, and now he's a golfer. Some of the things cut across. Therefore, the common benefit in humanity.
Yes, thank you very much, CEO. Thank you for all that you have unpacked. In regards to Blacks Power of the 2024-2025 season. Maybe just to summarize, your last words just lastly, awards that to the fans, followers of Blacks Power and the community around who has been so supportive to the club for the 3 years they have spent in Lira City, in particular in Lango sub-region.
I want to summarize myself in 3 dimensions. One, the fans. I think fans are the most dedicated part of any sport. That if you let them down, if you let them down, they can let you down 10 times. So this time I want to apologize that we didn't make it to our target, not because you were not there. It is not because we didn't come through for you, and we apologize for that. And we are very sure that we are trying our best to come back for you. So be with us and stick to us. This time around, wherever we are going to play from, come in better numbers so that we boost this team and see ourselves also celebrate a Premier League game like the way Mbale is now boasting that after 20 years,
they are back.
Can now go and support and cheer.
Awasiyo, I ask a question, you have not been direct.
Let me first finish my other part. 2 is the players. You see, Northern Uganda, at its biggest angle, is now where I think focus is given for sports. Northern. If I talk of Northern, you know the interest of most of the associations or the federations we have for sports. They are focusing here, including now that we are going to have a standard stadium. So you just know that you have a better future. You who is just starting, start harder. You who is already in the game, work more and more harder. Then to the other stakeholders, okay? These are now club owners, these are now the proprietors and so on. Let us have a unique way of unifying ourselves. Let our abilities not only end up for our personal gains. Let us look at the bigger diversity of the community and support the community of Northern Uganda, Lango sub-region, Lira City, as much as we can. Because this is where sports has now arrived. So we should embrace it with equal hands and make sure that we are the people to be recognized at the end of the day. So your other question?
My question that you didn't answer directly. In an event that we fail to secure a Lao sports ground, do we see Blacks Power within Lao?
Most definitely, I don't answer questions of if. Because the if in me is not there.
Is not there. Okay, because like you have not given a plan B. Maybe we have also approached Lango College. Maybe we have approached later UTC.
Most obviously, there are other points you would look at. But let me be honest to you that the level at which big league is played requires some certain standard of a stadium.
True.
And when we looked around,
it was only Lango Sports.
It was only Lango Sports, which could make it a bit easier
for you.
A bit easier for us to improve and get a recommendation from Federation. Yes. But now, if you look at UTC, if you look at
Lango College.
Not Lango College, okay, just here in the town.
Lira Town College.
Look at that facility and ask me, how long would it take Blacks Power to develop it to a standard that is required? Even if it is
maybe
UTC.
Someone would say, we saw Northern Gateway use the UTC. Maybe but they would think it is somehow easier.
Someone would be right to think so. But when they were using it, how did it appear to be? How was it like? It was at some standard. But right now, if you went to UTC and you say, I want this pitch, truly, you can go through and secure it. But raising it within the beatable timeline is impossible. Very impossible.
When is the deadline?
The deadline for club licensing, the first phase, they have already done the preliminary inspections. Okay? And for now, we don't have a stadium because they have not certified or seen any. 2, the second inspection comes either 2 weeks or a month to kick off. Actually, it is done before releasing the fixture.
The fixtures.
Because they want to confirm. The fixtures show the
The home ground.
The home ground. Now, this is where I'm telling you that it would only be someone without faith in Blacks' power who will say, no, these people should go away. Who has no faith in Lango sports? Who has no faith in community? Who has no faith in himself?
In football.
In football. Who will say that Blacks' power, just go where you want, honestly speaking.
Yeah, thank you very much. It has been a very interesting evening. You have had all right from last seasons to how recruitments are being done, players who are having that is expired contract, those who are still having running contracts, and more concerning the Neo site, Neo home ground for Blacks Power with a lot of controversies. You've heard from CEO himself, Sabasaba Edison. Thank you very much for following 94.3 QFM. Abel has been my name. Thank you. We get back again next Sunday. May God bless you all. Thank you.
That was fine and brilliant defending. Now long ball, 1 against 2. Again, Obonyo Yasin turns one. It's at the box. Obonyo goes down. 1 against 2. Again, Obonyo Yasin turns one. It's at the box. Obonyo goes down. Referee says no way. Looking for that ball. A good challenge from the captain. Cross comes in. Inside the box. Chance here for Komboni. Komboni again. Well blocked.